Wafa Al-Abidat. You're listening to the Women Power Podcast, a subsidiary platform to the Women Power Summit, the largest event in MENA, with the aim of empowering women and helping them achieve their absolute highest potential. Each week on the Women Power Podcast, you will hear honest, vulnerable, authentic, real conversations from inspiring women. These women will share their experiences and stories into what it takes to build a successful business and career. The podcast will share insight and inspiration and hopefully inspire action and lead change. Shaikha Al Khaldi is considered one of the first female artists in the world of stand-up comedy in Kuwait. Her beginnings in the world of comedy started in 2013 with the first stand-up comedy show held by Dasman Medical Center. She would then continue to do shows for the period of 7 years. She kicked off her first step into the world of satirical social comedy online in 2020 with IFFFT, a series of Kuwaiti comedy episodes that shed light on outdated and contradicting social issues with a call for action and social reform. Welcome, Shaikha. How have you been during these very strange times during COVID in Kuwait?
Well, I mean, personally, I've been doing really well, actually. I needed the world to stop for a little bit because I needed to rest. It didn't allow me to do that for the past 40 years. So I was very excited that, the whole world had to stop. And then I was like, all right, this is really cool. Thanks, you guys. I needed this. Yes, of course, I'm very conceited and I think this is about me and I wish this to happen to the world. No. Of course, it's very sad that not a lot of people get to enjoy that calmness and stop. A lot of people have suffered through COVID, but personally, to me, it was very kind. COVID was very kind to me, so I enjoyed the rest. I enjoyed spending more time with my dogs and my family. We've started some new, now we watch like a cinema every day, like a movie, turned our sala into our living room to like a cinema. We started new things at home and it's like my mom's cooking a lot more and it's fantastic. And it felt really good. We were all very comfortable at home. So it was just good vibes all around.
What was the worst day you had during COVID?
Just recently when they reopened, that's the worst day. That's the worst day. I literally had a panic attack that morning. I was like, oh my God, it's back. Life is back. And I literally had a panic. I had to sit at home. I called office. I was like, guys, I know it's the first day, but I'm just going to need a couple of hours just to collect myself. And I ended up going late that day. But that was the worst day when it ended.
So other than family rituals and just like the art of slow living, have you been able to achieve anything in the last 6 months?
Well, yeah, I don't know if you've seen IFFFT, the new show that I started, and it's my first ever show that I've done online. I'm just a stand-up comedian. I've never done anything for the media or the TV or anything. So because of the time that we had, my friend was like, just as a joke, let's do a program. I was like, yeah, all right. And we're just chilling, sitting, doing nothing, and I have a lot to say. I'm generally an angry person, and I always want to talk about some stuff that are bothering me. So she's like, come, let's do this quick thing. They were a small Abbay World. You've seen their channel. They were small, and I was like, it's a good place to start. Not too big, not too small, just to try it out. Yeah, that didn't happen. That just it went viral, and yeah, I'm really happy about it. But it's just I wanted to ease myself into this thing, and there was zero easing into it. It's just sort. I'm happy and I'm scared. So that's what I did.
How did it feel to watch that content go viral?
Absolutely overwhelming. That's the first thing I felt. I wanted to pull that. I was like, nope, it's okay. Thanks, you guys. And then as the numbers keep rising, it was kind of stressful, but also happy. Like I had mixed feelings. The good thing is the positive feedback that I've gotten is almost up to 90%, I want to say, which is to me, and especially in Kuwait, we're picky. The fact that it went up to 90% of like just good feedback, I was so happy. I was scared. I did it, but I was still scared of, getting bad reviews or it hitting a bad spot. You know what I mean? People can go crazy sometimes. They'll pick something and it's just go with it. But I was hoping that doesn't happen to me. The opposite happened. It went viral. A lot of people connected to what I was talking about. And just because the subjects were done, first of all, a lot of the things I talked about, not a lot of people want to talk about. So I think when I said it, people was like, finally, someone spoke about that issue or that problem or that. A lot of people connect in that sense. And now apparently everyone that has a problem calls me and is like, Shaikha, can you talk about this? It's like, I don't know, but I'll let you know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah, it would be nice to get some money out of all of this. We're not getting money.
You said you were scared. You said, I was scared a couple of times. Your job is to kind of connect to audiences live and to be very vulnerable and to be very open to bad comments or feedback. Why did this scare you?
Many reasons. First of all, the amount of people, and like there's no, unless I do it in a stadium, I'm not going to get the same amount of people watching my show, you know what I mean? So the biggest show I've ever done was about 1,000 people, and I thought that was like insane. But the rest were all between 200 and 600. And first of all, when you're sitting and as you're saying the jokes and you're doing your skit, you can hear the people. You know their reaction, you know. If I went too long, I know. If that's not the subject that is doing well, I'll flip it around. So I kind of get instant feedback from the people. With this, I put it out there and hoped for the best. So I don't know. So this to me was scary. Also, on stage, you're right there with the people, and any, like, let's say, any comment, if anyone comments, I have the mic and the speakers are with me, sweetie. So you can, like, you know, bark all you want. I'm going to win in the situations. But on the internet, they can just write it and, you know, just like, you know, the trolls. And it's like, and they're just mean. There's like mean people out there, you know, and I can't just, and I'm not going to go and like reply to all of them. I don't know. It's nice to have at the time. And it's just, and I can like shut them up. It's a lot easier to shut them up on stage. So I want to say, to me, that was scary. Is like, I can't stop them from talking.
Where do you work? And what do you do?
In the morning, I'm an internal auditor at an investment company in Kuwait. So not the most exciting thing in the world. It's investigative work. It's actually, it's a lot of fun because what you do is trying to find like the mistake and what's going wrong in the organization. So it is a lot like investigative work. And once you find like a clue and you're like, ooh. So it's like a boring cop show kind of thing.
What were your other jobs? Were you always in corporate or did you shift?
Yes. I graduated accounting. So I was a financial auditor for about a year. Then I was in risk management for about 7 years. I've done accounting, small jobs here and there, but mainly it's audit and accounting for the past 17 years. So I'm done. I'm good. I feel like 17 years is good.
By the way, that's crazy. Like, it's so far away from what you do for fun because the accounting and the auditing is so risk averse and it's very boxy, and I don't feel it's even extroverted work. I feel it's all quite introverted work.
I'm the only loud one in the office. I'm the only one who's like, hey, life is good. They're all like, work. And it takes it's just a lot of information and a lot of work. And also it can get overwhelming sometimes. And I get the job is very demanding. But to a lot of people, they need to be introverts. I just don't have time to be an extrovert, to be honest with you.
Are you doing this for the pay, or are you doing this because it gives you stability and routine? Or are you doing it because it's too good of an opportunity to pass up?
I'm doing it because I wasn't, and I've been working for 17 years. So initially I was not a comedian or had nothing to do with any form of arts before when I first started. And I've gone to a point where it is comfortable. I do need financial support, and I just, like the shows, I wasn't doing a lot of shows for it to support me financially. Also, I can't, because I only do my comedy in Arabic. So even in Kuwait, it's very limited. Like even if there's a comedy show that's in English, it's not my thing. So the amount of shows I get are not as much. So it's not enough to support me financially. And at that time, I did not want to be out on the media. So, shows or series or all these things, I did not want to be out in that sense. So I didn't have much options. It was just the shows. So it's not enough for me to like kind of depend on it financially. So I continued working and made comedy as like a side thing that I do whenever I can. But now when I decided to do the show, I think there's something in me is ready to take that step soon enough. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm getting paid for nothing right now. So I can't say that comedy will be able to support me financially, and I have very demanding dogs that need a lot of money and support, so I kind of need to maintain a good job just to give them the life they deserve. So it's all for the dogs, it's not even for me, because I can survive, but my dogs are very high maintenance.
If I told you today that you could make or match your salary with comedic work, that means brand endorsements, live shows, online content, would you quit?
Absolutely. Yes, I'm ready for this to be my full-time thing. I think I'm dabbing into like different projects now that this happened, and my name is kind of out there now. So I'm getting offers for different things. I've never done anything like this, so everything is new to me. So I'm trying to do like be part of writers' rooms for different like comedy series and stuff like that. So I'm hoping, I am working towards that. But definitely once I have something that I know is steady and it will, I'm out.
You said that for the longest time you were limited just because you used to do Arabic shows and you didn't want to appear in the media. So that was clearly a choice you made. Why was appearing in front of the media not an option for you all this time?
Honestly, Mali Khald, I knew it would come with a lot of things that at that time I was not ready for. Absolutely not ready for. But now I think I've gotten to a point where I've done well enough in the stand-up comedy, and it's a good time to like venture into the world of comedy aside from stand-up, because it's a huge, beautiful world, and I just want to be part of it as much as I can.
What inspired you to become a comedian? So can you tell me about the specific moment?
Since I was a kid, I want to say, I don't remember exactly the first time I saw a stand-up comedian, but in general, I thought comedians were the best people in the world, and my favorite actors as a kid. Yeah, and it started with Ismail Yassin, because as a kid you're not into like smart comedy because you're a kid. But Ismail Yassin and Samir Ghanem, actually, those two, a big part of my life as a child. And I just thought they were hilarious, like the way they move their faces and what they do with that. But I thought, I was like, he's the coolest guy ever. And Ismail Yassin had like 100 movies called Ismail Yassin Ismail Yassin doing this. I was like, this guy is the coolest thing in it. None of the other actors, like you have, I don't know, Rushdi Abada, Mafi Rushdi Abada doing this, or, you know, Ahmed Madhar doing, no. He was the most important one to me. And that was one of the first things. Was like, I like that. I like that everyone is sitting right now watching this movie, loving this guy. I want to be like him. And all he's doing is just like literally talking. I was like, that's the easiest thing in the world. I can talk. And then it just, I tried to become him, like imitating when I was very goofy as a kid. I still do. Like if you see my videos, my face speaks just as much as my mouth does. So yeah, I think since I was a kid, I really wanted that. And when I realized that there's a thing called stand-up comedy, like that's your job. Like, great, that's like the best job ever. But sadly, we didn't have any of that in Kuwait for a really long time, up until like 10 years ago when it kind of first started to happen. And then soon after, like 2 or 3 years after that, is when I got into it. So it started early for me to be.
Tell me about your first show, or the first time you were on stage.
Yeah, it was a mistake, to be honest with you. It was done by mistake. My friend Bibi Sabah, she was in charge of a charity event, and what happened was something happened with one of the talents, and they couldn't make it, or something like that. Like there was a problem with the show, and she's like, man. And then she looked at me. She's like, Shaikha, you're funny. Do you want to do it? Do you want to like fill his space? And then I just said yes. Like I did not think about anything. Should I ask my parents? Should I like check it out first? Do you have any questions? Like, nope, I don't. I will do it. And then like she went back home and I went back home, and then I realized like, what did I just agree to? And then I just ignored it. And I was hoping like it was just a mistake that she did. And then Sunday she's like, Shaikha, your audition for that. I was like, oh, it's happening. So I went to the audition, and I was so real. I literally talked about how like I've always wanted this, and then like some girl just next to me said, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah. And so it was about me. It was a small venue, very well organized, so like a lot of less stress, I want to say. And it was just magnificent. When I went on stage, I was scared, but once I got on stage and held the mic and I said my first joke, and I heard everyone laughing, and I was like, this is the best thing ever. And I will never forget that feeling. That first show was just very special to me. And yeah, it was just fantastic. It felt really good, and the feedback was amazing, and people were like, thank you. I was like, sure, thank you. You paid money.
Can you tell me about the first time you got paid for a show and what that meant for you?
Yeah, it was like a few shows after that one, and I held it. Like I've had checks and I've had salaries for a really long time at this point. But then that first check, I kept looking at it. It took me a while to take it to the bank. I just wanted to be next to me for a while. So it was like, it really, like, thank God. No, I haven't told this to anyone, but to anyone, but that's exactly what happened. It took me a couple of days. I just want to have it with me. And then I'll take it out, smile at it, and then, fold it back and put it back. And it's like my first check doing stand-up. Never in my life would I have thought this would happen. Like never. It was one of those dreams that are just like not gonna happen. You just like dreaming about it. You know what I mean? That was fun. That was it. I didn't want to cash it. I was like, should I keep it? Should I not?
Who helped you do the pricing? Did somebody say, listen, we're offering you this, take it or leave it? And you're like, I'll take it.
Initially, yes. I didn't know what was happening. He was like, here, 750 fils. I was like, I'll take it, you know? Or here, قوطي عصير is, I was like, fine, sure. I don't know. I don't know what people get and what they get paid for. But then really quickly, I worked on the show with a bunch of awesome people, other comedians that were under the same manager, and came up to me after the show and was like, yo, do you want to be part of this? And I was like, yes, because I don't know what I'm doing. And then we've been together ever since.
Can you tell me about things that people say to you as a female comedian that really pisses you off? So you said something about gender before.
It's actually a compliment that I hate. I hate that compliment. I wish no one would ever tell me that. I was like, يحللهم والله البنات يطلعوا دمهم خفيف. I was like, oh, women are actually, they can be funny. Did you think all women are lame? Like how? There are billions of them. Billions. How do you think like billions? None of them were funny? Like none? I hate that. I hate that compliments. Like, good job. I didn't think, I was skeptical. Oh, stop talking. Why are you here? Why are you talking to me? This is wrong. This is just wrong. So yeah, that's the worst thing you can tell me. And في سالفة, it's not just about gender, just in general, it's about being a comedian. يلا ضحكينا, يلا, say a joke. I was like, that's, first of all, you can't afford me. Second of all, that's not how it works. So stop telling comedians, like, it's not like that. عرفت؟ مو تحط 100 فلس بحلجي واشتغل, مو كذي. Stop telling comedians, يلا ضحكينا, اللي هو pop quiz يحسسونك, ايش تبي؟
So it's so funny. I feel like there are things that women experience that are just so uncalled for, because we're the minority, especially if you're in spaces like there isn't like 50 sheikhas, there's one, and I don't know if there's a couple more like you, but like, because you stand out, it's like you're at front lines of the war, right? So you get all this strangeness, and they're like, you're strange, we like you, There is a lot of women doing what you do. It becomes the norm.
Please, I need help. I need to divert the attention from me. So I'm definitely calling for all girls, please come out and be comedians. So it's just not like me having to take all of that. It's sometimes it gets annoying. It really does, especially when I talk about a subject that my friend who's also a comedian have talked about it, and Adi is like, والله جريئة يا حليلك. I was like, why? ليش جريئة؟ موضوع يخصني ويخصك ويخص كل من, ليش أنا ما أقدر أتكلم? Like, why can't I talk about the subject? But then my male friend, it's like, it's normal. But when you do it, it's like, these are the compliments that I hate. It's like, I thought you were fragile. I did not think you had it in you to be this strong and be able to. I was like, وفيك ثقة بالنفس. It's like, who are the women in your life? I want to talk to them. Maybe they need help or something. I don't know what you've been exposed to.
كلمة يا حليلك, I like that you're calling me cute, and also I'm not like a teenager. Like يا حليلك is like for like a little Minnie Mouse. Like I'm a grown woman.
صح. الكلمة هم هذه هي مدحة بس شوية بليتلينج, وبعدين أنا كلها شيب ويا حليلك. شو أقول ما يصير. I can't be like this وللحين يا حليلي. أنا مو يا حليلي.
I guess we're displaying youthful energy, which is passion, excitement, a bit of loudness, a bit of rebelliousness. Like that's so associated with being young. Like as you get older, I guess you're meant. So as we get older, they're like, you're adorable, you're acting just like a teenager. And it's like, no, I'm being a professional.
No, I genuinely think women and children are always put in the same corner in a lot of things. Even like in an exit plan. It's like, women or children first. It's like, I'm good, save. There are men that need help also. So let's assess that in a different way, So I can run. I'm an athlete. I probably can run better than most of the men in our building at the office. You know what I mean? I've seen them with their kersha. Like, I'm good. Let's see this guy. He might need help. So when we're put in that corner of women and children, so it's like when a kid does something, he's like, oh, good boy or good girl. It's like, تكفى لا تحاكيني نفس الياهل. Please, when can I get out of the stage?
How do you feel about the startup scene in the GCC?
I might be the one that actually managed to continue. and actually be like get an agent and be professional, not just do one show for fun.
So let's say you are one of the pioneers or one of the first stand-up Kuwaiti comedians that's also modern. My question to you is, I'm sure you've seen other stand-up comedians possibly come after you and flourish and quickly rise to the top. How does that make you feel? You know, you're on YouTube and you see these people that are just really aggressively using all the tools they have to put out content. Did that make you feel like maybe I should do that?
No. I think everyone works on their own pace, and for me, it's what I feel. Yani sometimes even with stand up, I'd be in a place where it's like I'm not feeling any shows. So I'll call Hamoud and be like, Hamoud, the next 2 months, my agent, I'm not feeling it. So anything in the next 2 months, I'm not doing. And this is just my pace, and I ease myself into. Khalas, I'm known enough because of the stand-up. I don't have an open account. I didn't try to promote myself in any way because I'm not doing it for the money. I'm generally just doing it to like talk about some issues and shed some light and get some laughs. So when everyone else does that, it's their own life, their own way, their own speed when it comes to their career. And I'm a lazy person. If anything, I look at him, I was like, I can't believe he would do all of this. How much time does he spend? Does he not know couches? You've never heard of a couch? How can you leave it for that long doing all of this? No, never. And I had priorities. Like my work is important for me to survive. And I have my dogs, and you know, in the Khalij area, we have like a lot of family and friends, social like obligations and stuff like that. And I like that. So it was going to take a lot of time for me to do all of this and do this. So to me, it was more about time. I didn't think I had enough time to do all that and give it the time it needs. I didn't ما كنت أبي أظلم the work or the people that are asking me to do the work and all that. So I was just being realistic about الخلق مالي خلق كان. فأنا شوية صار فيني خلق.
I can feel it like in the energy of this virtual conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's absolutely. This is what I'm telling you. Like, I think now it's my time. And I am definitely looking into all sorts of comedy, anything, comedy writing, voiceovers, ads, just whatever. I'm trying to now work on a show for like, it's a sports show for the women's dowry for the football, like a weekly kind of thing for just to shed some light on the games and the girls and how that. But I've always had these ideas. I just didn't have the energy to do it. But now I feel like, you know, let's see, let's check it out. I'm at a point where it's like, let's check it out. I'm still like not committed to anything, you guys. I might just like stop at any time if I felt like it's overwhelming.
How do you come up with material?
I do a lot of voice notes, and I do have this booklet that I've had since the first day I started. It has all my shows. If I lose it, I'm gonna die. But it's I love it, and the way I come up with the material is mainly anything that is bothering me and has been bothering me for a while. Because I don't like small problems that go away, like anything like. A matter that happened now. I like the things that are like more in the core, in the infrastructure, like something that's been with us for a long time. So let's tackle that, not the small, something happened here, let's talk about it and make fun of it. I mean, we can all do that, but just to change, you kind of need to go to the deeper, more
content that can create a positive outcome, I think.
Yes. Or not just, I just want people to kind of like think, because a lot of things that I talk about, people's like, I didn't think of it that way. It's like, yeah, no, women voices out there. That's right. You didn't think of it that way. So now, and even the women, I'm not talking about like, please, I'm not attacking men or anything. There are just a lot of women that don't know a lot about being just equal and having enough rights, not just by law, I mean by social law, which is the worst, I think, than the law. So there are things that you think, my يصير. It's like, actually, if you really, really think about it, شوي يصير. You're not really doing anything. So just go ahead, sweetie, go ahead. They've told you, I understand, they told you can't. But, so these issues, I think, especially when an issue like that, I know I've talked about this, let's say 5 years ago, and I'm still talking about it. And it's like, it's been with us for 5 years. This is something we need to talk. And it's usually the things that just bother me.
I love that. But I think you speak our language because we all tend to complain and vent to the people we care about. And I feel like you're a friend. Like, I feel you're talking to me and making jokes as if you're it just feels so equal and relatable. But I love your theme on accountability. And I think you just touched on triggers for every person. Like, you triggered all of us. It doesn't matter, man, woman, whatever. But it just, we all felt something. So definitely you moved us. And I think, some of your themes, like you said, if I'm still talking about this 5 years from now, that means it's an issue for me. It could be an issue for millions of us. So I think that's how powerful your content was and your ability to tell stories. Are you obsessed with these Netflix shows about comedians? And Netflix has putting out such an amazing amount of content, but they actually do like reality TV shows on comedians, looking at their lives, looking at their work, writing process. There's I saw this show by Kevin Hart where you go into his world and you go with him to the gym and you look at what his day is like. So give me a mix of some of your favorite people.
I'll tell you. I am madly in love with Saeed Saleh. He is my idol. He's a great comedian. I think he's smart and very underrated. He didn't get enough a chance. He's great, but I think he could have done more.
I'm just going to say that I don't know that person, so I'm going to assume maybe some of my listeners don't. Who's Saeed Saleh? Don't judge me if he's a big deal.
No, it's okay. Saeed Saleh is a big deal. He's one of the funniest comedians. I'm sure you've seen مدرسة المشاغبين, or you've heard of it. مدرسة المشاغبين, العيال كبرت, and he's Sultan in العيال كبرت, The Kid, and I love him. And طبعا being Kuwaiti, I was comedy is great in Kuwait. So I had Suad Abdullah, Hayati Fahad, Maryam Saleh, Maryam Al-Ghadban. All of these people are just great. And then Khalid Nafisi, the angry comedian, and I loved his character. And I was like, he's just angry. I was exposed to a lot. And then in Egypt, because I lived in Egypt for a while. So between Egypt and Kuwait, it's like they're funny people in those two countries. Just a lot of great comedy content. Bakiza Zaghlul, I don't know if you know them or not, but they're like a duo. Suhair Al-Babli and Saad Yunus back in the day. Two female comedians that were brilliant. So I was like, I want to be like them. And if women can be like that, I want to be that. And of course, AppFab is my all-time favorite show ever. So Jennifer Saunders is a brilliant comedian, brilliant writer, brilliant actress. It's just great. So Jennifer Saunders for sure is one of my all-time favorite.
This podcast is brought to you by O'Brien Hill. O'Brien Hill is a leading communications agency focusing on public relations, event management, and marketing. It's made up of a fantastic group of creatives in the design and PR fields. The agency first came to life in 2010 as my brainchild. Our creative consulting services were in demand in the UK after our online publication Sketchbook became an overnight success. Much like a proud mama, our agency's namesake is attributed to the place of its inception, Notting Hill. It's now 10 years later and we're one of the leading communication agencies in town, and we as a team are incredibly proud to be working on this very podcast behind the scenes. Check us out on www.obayandhill.com. Do you feel appreciated from Kuwait and this part of the world? Like, I know a lot of artists and designers, and this is like a bit of an unproactive approach, but like they moan and groan like, I'm an artist, I don't get appreciated. No one, they want to feel valued, and they look at other countries that really value their talent or creative. Or are you like, no, nobody owes me anything, I'm fine?
Absolutely no. Artists have always been like this. Like, why do you not love me? And it's like, I get it, you are great, just life is not like that. Life is unfair. It doesn't work that way. Please continue doing your thing. Maybe you'll hit it big, maybe you won't.Maybe you'll die and then you'll be hot. I don't know. Because that's like the most unfair thing in the world. It's like a lot of artists actually become famous after they die. And it's like, no one owes me anything. And I don't think I'm underappreciated or overappreciated. I just think I'm going to put my content out there and hope some people get the message and get a nice laugh out of it. And that's all I'm asking for.
Are there any sensitive things or any topics that you are like, this is below the belt, I'm not going to go there, I'm not interested, or it doesn't add value? Or are you like, fair game, I can talk about anything I want to talk about?
Yes, you can. There's always a way to talk about something, even when you hear like it's the most horrible thing ever. But there is a way to talk about it. There is a way to make it funny, not necessarily make fun of it or be rude and on. No, but yeah, I don't think everything I think is fair game, and making jokes is just like you kind of need to be considerate also. So if you think that only by being rude you have to be funny, then there's a problem, honestly. And I've talked about a lot of sensitive issues in the past, and I try to make myself better, even if I like when I go back and sometimes like that was a bit insensitive, Shaikha. That was, I don't know, not everyone clapped and they loved it and everything, but بيني وبين نفسي, between me and myself, I felt like be careful with these things. But yes, definitely you can talk about anything if you do it right, you can talk about it.
So the sports video that you posted, indirectly, it was very softly kind of, I don't want to say judging, but it was very subtle. It was done with a lot of humor. It was very diplomatic. But underneath, did you get any authority level saying فشلتينا?
No, even please send that email. Send it. It's gonna be my. Send it, please. It's gonna be my next episode. You know, because if you send it, then you don't care about Kuwait. Honest to God. Then you only care about yourself. So please send it. If you got offended by what I said, because I do care about my country and I want to change things up, then I don't care about your opinion, honestly. Unless you're threatening me, then maybe I'll take it a bit more serious. But otherwise, if you're just like, please take it down, it's like, no, I will not.
I think Kuwaitis generally are so courageous and articulate, and انتوا عندكم هالشيء. Like in Bahrain, I feel like such a strong woman, but when I come to Kuwait, I feel like I'm this small. Like everyone has a giant personality. A lot of women are so strong and they're very like excellent communicators. So I really appreciate that you're like, I care about my country and I dare you to like question my intention, which is you have positive intentions. My next question is about monetizing. So let's say somebody's listening to this, they are dreaming of being on stage one day or creating viral content. How would you suggest they monetize their platforms or their following? I know that you're also in the process of figuring some stuff out and you're learning as you go, but if you had to give some advice to an upcoming comedian, a female comedian even, what would you say?
I'm not getting any money. I'm only getting it for the stand-up, and there aren't much of it, so I'm not like the best person to talk about that.
So keep your day job.
But at the beginning, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard because you don't know. A salary, it will come down on this day, khalas, in your account. With being a creative, you're literally just waiting for someone to. Would you like to do something? Do you want the talent? Or walking around with your script or with your content, and it's like, can you take it? Can you? No, and then maybe someone won't take it. So it's hard at the beginning. It's definitely hard. I am suffering now. I'm trying to like get it going with getting like sponsors and people to pick up shows and ideas that I have. But yeah, I think don't give up. Have something on the side that just to maintain you so you can actually continue doing that, and then hope for the best and just try to get connections. Connections is very important. So put yourself out there, go get around the people that are within the industry, try to get to know them. Just this I think the connection part is the most important thing. This is what's going to get you to get other stuff, so work on your networking.
When you do your filming, you laugh a lot with people behind the camera, and there's like a lot of engagement, which I think is so cool, because sometimes it feels like you don't know they're recording and they're recording. Yes, who are you laughing with?
My friends and my sister, so we're very comfortable. And Frankie the dog, who is like the most important one.
So there's Frankie, there's your sister. Who else is behind the scenes?
The crew and the members of Abbe, the fantastic magicians that make me just a lot funnier than I am. The editing is great. Everything they do is just fantastic, and the graphics are fantastic. They're just and they're Fail Imran, Mira Shami, and Mo Saeed, and it's just us. That's it. It's them three, and I'm just sitting in front of the camera doing my thing. And sometimes when I'm saying something, a lot of the things come up, and as it's happening, like we didn't discuss it before, like the joke would come out, or like I go on a tangent, and then they have to control themselves, and I see them trying not to laugh, so because of the mic and that. So Yeah, sometimes they can. They're just like, all right, we're laughing at this. Okay, it's like, so it's fun because it's real, and I also like it because I get the feedback just like being on a stage. So I see their faces, and then once they go like this, I was like, all right, we're doing well. فشوية it gets me excited when I see them getting excited and trying to hide their laugh. Is like, all right, this is going well.
I love the chemistry on that show. I'm so excited to see where it's going to go. What did you learn about yourself in this process?
I never knew that I was that much of activist. 10 years ago, I was like activist, like, oh God, no, no, I'm good. But now I think this has to come with age, when you realize a lot of things, when you're more aware of, especially as a girl. It's like I do this a lot. I'm shocked by the insensitivity, the ignorance, and it's like I need to do something about this. I need to do something about this. So, and I think the comedy is one of the most powerful weapons to combat anything that if you want to hurt someone, do it by comedy. Like, make people laugh at him, not just expose him. Like, let's point and laugh at this, whoever this, you're wrong, this is wrong, so I'm gonna make people laugh at you. And then now, like, one of my favorite things now that everyone says is the abish dawa. And it's like, and the thing is, I'm glad. I want كل واحدة تقول أبش دعوة على شيء like that's stupid and like or wrong. I want people to be like أبش دعوة. I know this is a form of bullying, but since bullying exists anyway, let's use it for good. That's what I think. Bullying will always be here. Might as well use it for the good guys. So I'm definitely bullying people into being better.
You're so right, and I think. Ooh, that's really nice because it gives your work purpose. So much purpose.
If you hear the stories that I get, like, I'm literally a comedian who's laughing about all these issues. But since I started this the F show with Abay World, I've been getting so many messages, especially from women, of just the things that they go through, and how, like, me talking about even the sport, especially the sports one. And I got from so many people, especially the GCC, like because we're very similar in a lot of ways, and we have the same issues, the same problems. For so many girls from Saudi, Qatar, Oman, all of them, Bahrain, they're like, yeah, احنا, thank God you talked about it, and I was like, this is the best thing ever. I thought it was just like me making people laugh, but honest to God, a lot of people, a lot of men have messaged me saying, I understand what you guys are going through, and it's not fair, and you've opened my eyes to a lot of things. So even the messages I get, I think, like, I didn't think it would, honest to God, like, yeah, I want to talk about these problems. I didn't think it would be that powerful, but I keep forgetting that really comedy is powerful, So I'm glad it is that, and I'm glad it is serving that activist in me, to kind of like, maybe if I change like 3 people's mind, then I'm set. I can die happy. I've changed the world a little bit,
Have you thought about reposting some of the testimonials?
No. If they DM it in my hada, then it's personal. If they wanted to say it out loud, they would have put it in the comment section. So there's no way I would do that in that sense. If you're rude, then yes, this is material. This is different. I've reposted a lot of idiots. Yes, yeah. That I do. Yeah, I bully the mean people. Yes.
I will shame you in public, so you learn.
Exactly. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that again. Yeah, I do that, but not. If someone is telling me a problem, I would discuss it. I would say that, like I'm telling you now, مثلا, I get this and I get that, but I would never like put it and be like, no. That's ما له داعي. But it's just me collecting information, and especially like things, let's say, like schools now. There's a problem with the online but I don't have kids. I have dogs, So this issue, a lot of mothers have messaged me. I was like, please talk about it. Please, how, like, they're not doing it well, and there's a problem with the ministry not handling it the way. So I was like, I don't know anything about this. So let me ask the experts مثلا. But they told me about an issue that it is a problem, and it's been like المناهج has been, we've talked about it. كل من يقول المناهج أنا ما عندي أهل فما أدري, ومنهجي كان زين. I'm 40. Back in the day I was good, but apparently it's bad now. So now I'm really getting into that and talking to a lot of experts and people that in the field, just so I can have an idea of it. So they helped me talk about something that I'm not familiar with, which is, and open my eyes into other issues, which is kind of great.
It's like you're a reporter. It's almost like you're a journalist. Like, I shall research, and just talking to people, and yeah.
And people are sending me documents and stuff, and like, I was like, okay, thanks, thank you. That, like, you just saved me a lot of research time. So That's awesome. Yeah, they've been great. Like I'm very very blessed with how it's been going recently.
So, honest truth, has your family always supported you being a stand-up comedian? If you have any siblings, yeah, and siblings, cousins, like friends, or have you had any haters?
My direct family were absolutely fantastic. They're just the greatest. They help me even with my material because we're funny. Like the three siblings are just we're funny. So when I write something, I go to my brother, my sister, be like, "Yo, شلون كنا لا كنا إيه." If I need them. I need them, especially my sister. She's there in every episode because she knows me, and she would tell me what I did wrong and how to do it right. So I kind of need her there in every show. But they've been great. My mom is the cutest thing in the world. My dad is chill. He's like, honey, do whatever you want. Just don't go to jail. Which is kind of like, this is the best advice ever. And I managed to avoid it. Thank you, Dad. I'm doing it for you. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, just don't go to jail. Okay, I got this. I'll try, but yeah. So for 40 years I did it, but I had some extended family that had a lot of issues with it. And it was kind of painful because I genuinely didn't do anything wrong. Even if it's not like, مثلا, it's not bad comedy, it's not rude, it's not offensive, I'm actually trying to help. It's actually more of a service rather than just I'm hoping it would be that. I'm working on it to be that, more of a service rather than just like comedy show that you come laugh and not get anything. I want you to think about that show for the next at least 3 days of what I said. So, and a lot of people loved it. So it's kind of like sad when your family kind of get like that. So at the beginning it bothered me, but then I realized like that kind of negativity is not good for me or my life. And obviously you don't know what's going on or what it is. You're just, it's the society and the adat and the taqalid in the back of their heads talking. So I'm not gonna I feel sad for some of the people that would be like that. They're missing out on a lot of things, I'm sure, in their lives. Absolutely. No, مثلا I've been told that إن أنت حطيتي سمعة عائلتنا بالقاع. I was like خلاص قلت له خلاص أي أحد يقول قلت تبرينا منها. Like say it, قولوا تبرينا من شيخ عادي ريحة يعني. Distance yourself from me. Yeah, if that's gonna make you feel better, please go ahead. I'll tell people حتى from my end if you want. So, but
I'll help you out as well. I'll spread the word.
She's the good one. She doesn't. He's the الكشخة اللي he doesn't associate with me. Yeah, so.
And did your parents try to help you resolve this, or they're like, just do whatever you want, we trust you?
No, yeah, they were just great. They were with me. They didn't think what was said is true or in any way represents what I'm doing and who I am. So they were very okay with it. And it's like, let them, with family, what can you do? خلاص, you just, all right.
You don't choose the family, unfortunately, so you're stuck with each other no matter what.
Exactly. It's خلاص. You don't like it? Okay. You told me. You want to say it again? Go ahead, please. I'm still doing it. And it stopped very quickly, that negativity, because they've been getting, because Kuwait is very small. So people are saying, like, oh, we saw Shaikha, she did so well, she's so great, everyone loves her. And so they're getting good feedback about me. And now they just feel bad saying, no, we hate her, we don't like this. Like, why? We love her. What's wrong with you? So they're like, yeah, she's great.
It must be bittersweet. I know, like, for me, when I started my business, my dad was like, you're gonna fail. And then when his friends were like, well, I feel Wafa, she's doing very well, he was like, wallah, she's doing very. Yani, it's so strange that for certain members of our family to accept us, they need a third party stamp of approval for them to be like, okay, so she's successful, you are successful then. Like, yeah. I knew I was gonna be something, like, why wouldn't you? So it's, I always tell university students, if they're like, my parents are against what I want to do, I'm like, just do well enough so that their friends will come to them and tell them that you're doing a good job, then they'll think you're doing a good job. Like, we care so much about what people think. It's very sad.
It really is very sad, and that's not how I've lived my life. And as much as I can, I didn't let that be part of my life, honestly. Of course, because you live with your parents and you're surrounded by your family, which is the old school kind of way. they're they care a lot about the hada. But I think the younger generation, as they're going, they're letting go a little bit of that, and just not letting, because they realize, let's say there's a lot of wrong that they say is wrong, but it's not wrong actually. When you sit and realize, like, why can't I do that? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and I love it. You've made me even question myself. You know what I mean? It's like, so especially الفن. أنا بركز على موضوع الفن because it's like both. It doesn't include gender. Of course, everything is worse for women in general, but let's say being an artist is like so frowned upon in our culture, and it's like, I think it's definitely the changing now with the younger generations. Like, it's actually not that bad. You've been lying to us, and we're just going to continue doing it. And I even have a lot of mothers being like awesome about the show and how but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't allow their daughters to do the same show, which is kind of sad, you know, like the contradiction in their life. Actually, I feel bad for them because it's fighting within themselves. It's like, all my life I've been told this is wrong, but it actually doesn't feel wrong. This is actually good, but we can't do it, and it's sad. But thank God it's fading. It's definitely fading.
So there's this generation that's like, don't show weakness, don't show emotion, don't show vulnerability. That's all weak. And we're like, we are growing up at a time where that is power. It's not weak. So there's definitely this like very strange change in mindset that and clashes between generations.
Having to deal with it and have it be a big part of your life it gets tiring at times. It gets really tiring at times.
It does. Because you're like, should I focus on my career or stop everything and fight with you? And set you straight.
Exactly, really. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just added stress that is unnecessary, to be honest with you. And how many يعني كلمة العادات والتقاليد, that word, the tradition. But specifically when you say tradition, when in the West, it's like just wearing that, you know, their tradition clothes. With tradition, it's like it's literally in every part and aspect of your life. It's how you dress, it's how you talk, it's where you go, it's who you talk to. It gets so overwhelming, and this word tradition for us has killed more dreams, I think, than all the worlds in the world put together in all the times. Like, so many people have lost because of that. It's like, the people, what would the people think? I don't care. Are they gonna pay for me? Are they gonna take care of me when I'm down? Those people you're talking, no. Why are they always just, whenever I want to do something good, the people, what about them? They don't like it. Why do I care about what people think? Why do you?
It's the same with influencers. If they do something, it's like, like, is your husband okay with it? Are people okay with it? Is your family okay with it? And it's like, why can't I just be me?
Really, why? Just be me. And you can unfollow. There are so many options where you don't need to see me if you don't like me.
It's become like a prison, like taqaleed, like, here, stay here, okay? And I don't need to be here. So I completely get it. And I think every day, Yani Shaikha, I think you're doing a great service that you've gotten out of your couch and out of your comfort zone. And honestly, like, I wish you've done it sooner, but I also respect that this is your journey. I want you to know that you and Frankie and your sister and your team are doing things and putting out content that is missing. Like, we haven't seen anything like it. I think that your gift is that, honestly, you're, by the way, beautiful, like, you're glowing. And I feel it's because, honestly, you're living your authentic purpose. And I'm so happy you are now ready to share your gift with all of us, because we need more people like you and less of the stuff that, you know, is, that brings us down or makes us feel bad about ourselves or gives us body image issues. You're so real and funny, and the content is really good. So I hope that you fulfill your potential, whatever that looks like. And I hope you continue, like, every time you sit on your couch, I hope you think, we're all waiting. No pressure. I hope you think, oh my God, there are fans out there, they're having a shit day. They need me, like, they need me to say something. So, and maybe sometimes that means the content is not perfect, but it's good enough to put out to move people like me to not just laugh, but to think and to become activists in our own communities. So, Shaikha, don't underestimate your power. You, honestly, like, I wish you the very best. I'll always champion you. I think everybody in my team will champion you. So you have a huge fan base here in Bahrain. And I can't wait to meet you in real life.
يا حلو البحرين والله يا حلوكم عم.
That's it for this week. Thank you for listening to an episode of the Woman Power Podcast. And thank you for downloading and streaming our podcast every week. If you love what you've heard, tag us on Instagram and follow the Woman Power Podcast and Woman Power Summit account for more information on our next episode. Please leave a rating review wherever you get your podcast. It really helps other women discover the show. That's it from me. See you next week.